This is Trinidad Town, a port town that became the base of operations for me and my friends on a small modded server. It was a small coastal town, and it being a modded world, we planned to make a lighthouse slash laboratory, just barely cut off by the view distance in the second image. Oh well, second and last image. These two photos, alongside a few memories, are the last remaining evidence I have of what this town looked like, and what it would have looked like. I don't have a copy of this world. I can't just go back in here and recreate all of these with the same blocks that I had. And even if I had the files and the mods, this was a modded world. We know how unstable these things are. There is a very good chance that this world had long since corrupted. But that's where we come in. Welcome to Museum, the forever world where I rebuild my old projects from worlds long since deleted. And in this episode, we're rebuilding a town that no longer exists. When I start any project, I always do a bit of a location site survey. I've had a big think about this, and I think we should put the town right over there on this island across us. But before we can work on the town, it's kind of separated. So this calls for a quick bridge, if you will. I'm building this bridge diagonally, and this seems like a pretty big endeavor. It's not. It's at the 45-degree angle. It's very easy. Diagonals get easy when you understand them. It's like it's math. It really is just math. Once you understand how it works, it feels more like a fun puzzle rather than like the hardest thing in the world. Now we want to find the rough center point. And if I go in a free cam here, maybe just like right here. So move 2. Is that 2? That's 2, right? I can count 1, 2. I did it. This is a shape. Yeah, I don't have a follow-up for that. It's something at least. Talking about building is hard. I have expended all my stone. It is a real good thing we dug up a giant hole for the Rafflesia flower last episode. This is definitely bridging a gap. But it looks more like a giant ore than a bridge. It needs support pillars. Maybe if it was a bit wider? Maybe. There's definitely some level of cookery. I just don't know if it's like MasterChef or if it's like, I don't know, Bob's Burgers. Okay, I filled in more floor so we have more floor to work with. True. I think it will look better if I bring all that down. Hashtag trust the process. And that sounds like a job for Ghosty. How did you get all the way up here? Too low. Up. There we go. I fear I've hit the water. Oh. Are you okay? Your mouth's... Are you breathing well? I mean, they are happy because of the water, right? I mean, this is as happy as you can get. I'm fine. Thing is, I just need to bring these down to a level where I can reach it from the water. Stop gurgling! It's disturbing. Hey, let me take a sleep. Okay, hold on. This might be a bridge. What's a good bridge? If Hollywood can send me down, I get the stop zero. Oh god. Like lion taking in out of time. I'm trying to find it. It's under the dark. Who was that? Don't worry, I will connect that downwards. Which is ironic because I watch Gemini Day. I have a friend who watches these videos and they messaged me in private, right? And they told me, right? You're like Gemini Tay if she was Filipino. What's that supposed to mean? Of course, I'm honored to be compared to the Gemini of the Tay, but like, what was that second part? Si Gian Bernardino ba yan? Minumukta na ka ng damdamin ko. I'm sorry to all my US viewers. I know 46% of you or something like that make up this audience. It's elite ball knowledge. I've been out of episode again! This is what I get for being Filipino. Anyway, pillar check. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. I like that a lot. Now what we can work on is the arch. If we just hold this down, it shouldn't be too hard. Imagine a circle. What even is a circle? And then that's that pillar. And then we'll just mirror this entire thing on this side. Also, look at this arch. Look at how good that is. Perfect curvature. Imagine a circle. And now imagine dragons. A good thing about this kind of build is it's once you figure this out, it's pretty easy from there. I'll just mirror it and you can start to shut off your brain. This is like it's like, okay, when you're drawing, right? This is like you finish a sketch and now it's all the fun stuff where you get to line it and you color it and you get to turn off your brain and you get to put on a YouTube video in the background that talks about something. The unfortunate thing here is that I'm the YouTube video in the background. Productivity check. How are you doing? Hello? 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 Then now would be a perfect time to actually talk about the town that we're making. So this town came from a server with a custom mod pack that we made. And at the time, we just had like laptops like that. They barely ran vanilla Minecraft. They ran vanilla Minecraft on a Dream, and that's it. So when we wanted to try modded Minecraft, we knew for a fact that like the usual mod packs weren't gonna cut it. They were too heavy. But we still wanted to try modded. So we thought, you know, why not actually just handpick the mods? Why not just make the mod pack? The cool benefit about that was, well, it was our mods. We know what's in this pack and we're not as lost as you may usually be in a mod pack. This also meant we had mods that I'd say were not exactly as famous or as used than usual. Like we had a parkour mod at the time and it almost killed me multiple times, so we don't talk about that. Oh my gosh, there's a guy. Oh, you can't be for real. Oh no. Where is it? Oh no! Oh no! Oh my gosh. This is devastating. That's horrible. Oh no! I did not expect that to happen. Tridents do so much damage. Oh no! It took like 3 hits. 3 hits. And it was aiming for me. But not for Ghosty. Right. I'm mad. I'm mad and upset. We'll have a special thing for that later. As much as I want to have a moment for Ghosty, we have to continue on. This bridge is barely gonna scratch the surface of what we're gonna do for today's episode. And I still needed it. Oh my gosh. I will never forgive those vile creatures for as long as I live. I don't know where that came from though. Oh my gosh. You know what they say, ain't no rest for the wicked and ain't no rest for a Minecraft YouTuber. So let's keep going. God, that was the first pet death as well that I've had in a while. This bridge literally just leads to the town. So we can't really get caught up in this too much. Because our main goal for this episode is to actually build like multiple buildings. This is just one. I think I'm like, where am I in the video? Like 7 minutes in? Maybe 6? Because this town has a pretty rich history. As I said, it was a modded world. And our mod pack was a kitchen sink, which means it had, you know, it had everything. It had magic right next to helicopters, right next to grappling hooks. So with that in mind, our base for this original town was basically like a lighthouse slash laboratory. Where, you know, it was like we were the mad scientists that lived in this small quaint town. And we weren't like bad or anything. Our experiments would usually help out the townsfolk. Or put a dragon on their roof. Oh, this is so much harder without a happy guest. Is that correct? No. No, it's not. What am I doing? But with all that said and done, it is time for me to properly focus and get to work on this build. Now before a little sleep, before you know what decides to throw another trident at me. Alright, that's much better. Now let's start working on this archway. Where was I? Do I have enough stone? Here we are with our completed bridge. Oh my goodness. I'm pretty proud of this. I'm pretty proud of this. I don't think it's completely done. Like, I kind of forgot to do a bit of the details on this side of the bridge, but it's fine. This is the view we're getting anyway. And speaking of the view, look at that. Perfect sunrise view. Not only that, if we come from here, right, we're entering into the town area from the bridge, you can see right here on the left side, it's like a perfect frame for the actual town. It's like a nice preview. Oh, I love building. I love building. However, there's one little detail that I think we have to settle. I never really thought that this would happen. Like, it's a forever world. You'd think, like, everything lasts, everything stays, but no. No, they don't. Some accidents just happen, and that's how it works. It sucks that Ghosty died so early. So much time will pass without them, but I hope this bridge serves as a reminder that they had lived, and that they were here. We're finally going to actually start working on the town. As you can see, I've done a bit of terraforming on this side. Nothing too crazy. I just wanted to map this out a little bit. I realized I've been on peaceful. I went in a peaceful mode because I didn't want to risk another drowned trident guy impaling me while I was working on the bottom stuff, alright? But let's get back to work. So, the main goal here is to build the 3 main buildings as well as the fountain in the picture and then build it out from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yay. I'm pretty sure these are the only 3 buildings that ever existed here, by the way. So the rest of this town is kind of up to me in the present day. And honestly, I'd prefer that. I don't even want to copy these buildings exactly. I just want to get the general feel of them correct. And I think it's impossible that I get these exactly correct because I don't remember. I suppose I should explain why this video took so long. I was actually on vacation in Italy. It was great. First we went to Florence, then it was like Tuscany, and then our last leg of the trip was in Venice. Yeah, so apart from the Holy Week celebrations, I've been distracted by Assassin's Creed 2. Okay, who could blame me? It was literally less than $1 on Steam. It was like 0.8 of $1. Like for Assassin's Creed 2, yeah, I'll get that. Even in the big 26, I'll get that. And you know, it did become like a pretty good creative refresh because Italy and that sort of European Mediterranean style is exactly the sort of build style approach that we're going with here. Just the concept of clustered buildings has always fascinated me for some reason. It's why I love this town style of Minecraft building, and Trinidad town was no exception. Seriously, I love building towns. Like when I was making the series and I was listing down all the old builds I could do, right? There were literally 3 or 4 Mediterranean coastal towns I've built. Like, it's obvious I have a dream destination, I just didn't think it was that obvious. Honestly, I don't even think they were Mediterranean. I never really did any background search while doing these things, so I couldn't tell. I wouldn't recommend not doing background research. Like, it's one of the best ways you can learn how to build in Minecraft, in my opinion. Actually, more often than not, I actually copied builds because whose idea was this? Why did we think this was a good idea? Why did we think who let it be known this was a mob vote. We collectively thought that this was a good idea. It's not. I mean, it's cool, it's just I wish they had more functionality. Anyway, as I was saying, when I was first playing Minecraft, I actually copied a lot of builds. Which was correct! If I had known that future me would make a whole YouTube series about building old builds. How would I have known? But as I kept playing that way, I just didn't really get the same satisfaction, you know? It slowly didn't click for me when I was just copying someone else's build, and that's when I decided to start making my own. That's not to say copying is completely useless. In fact, if I had never copied, then I would have never appreciated the art of building. You know, you do it enough times and suddenly there's a voice telling you, yeah, you could probably do this if you learned. Let's work on actually building up this structure. And if I recall correctly, like, how do I describe this? I use this house very often. I think this is like the most common starter house I have. I usually think of something else, but if I really can't be bothered, this is what I usually go with. Honestly, not a bad choice. Good answer. Steve, I'm gonna go with ooh, a Family Day feud. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry. This is also before, or maybe sometime near, when the B-dub style started to really emerge, I think. I can't remember when this was. If I could give a rough estimation, maybe 2021. This might have been a 2021 build. Wow, I build weird. Hold on. Let me fill it in properly. Actually cannot for the life of me describe why I build that way. It's very sporadic. Like, I see something, it's like, ooh, okay. And then that's like what I go for. And then I see something else in the build and I'm like, oh, okay. And I'll just go for that. There's no rhyme or reason. It's a bit crazy, but we like crazy. feel like it's such a unique feeling to rebuild an old build from years ago. I think the big difference here is intention. I know where I'm placing these blocks. I know why I'm putting them there. I think everything feels a little bit more intentional than it used to be. We've kept a lot of the same features. I've added a bit of a pop of color and I've changed up a few decorations, but that's the house as it was and as how I remember it from years ago. I'm definitely doing the same approach for the rest of the buildings here. I'm just using a picture to reference the sort of color and the vibe that they were going for, but after that, it's all on me now. There isn't that much I can say while I am going to be building all these houses. Without further ado, here we are rebuilding Trinidad Town. We finally have the 3 original houses rebuilt behind me. And whoa, is there a big difference. You can really see the difference from 2021 to 2026. I don't think I would have thought of half of the things I've done here back in 2021, 5 years ago. Which is crazy to think, oh god. I think for this house, this is probably the closest to the original out of the 3. There's very minimal change. I mean, there's a lot of change, but it's still very much modeled after the original. But these two have changed quite a bit. I changed the roof to a much more lighter color, I think it works better. Although I actually think maybe spruce might have worked better. I don't really know, but I quite dig it for now. If we come around here to the side, we can see the giant crane. This was there in the original picture. I think you can barely see it, like over this roof. But there was a crane, and this was how the sort of structure extended behind the picture. I really like this crane. Shout out to whoever's original build this was. I did modify a few things, but this is very close to their original build. I'm sorry, I'm a fraud. This building definitely changed the most. You can very clearly see in the picture how much the difference is very glaring. There is so much more color in this version of the building, and I love this little decor here. This is so good. I don't know why I never thought to use scaffolding as decor. I should use scaffolding as decor way more. It's such a nice color. This fountain was way more trouble than it needed to be. I forgot that glass sticks to walls, so the entire idea kind of crumbled from there. But I think this works well. I wanted this to be like spouts of water. Pew. You know. Pew. It's a bit hard to scoot over with the chest monster, but if we take a bit of a look from this angle, oh, hold on, that looks really, really good. I think overall my decor work and detail work has really elevated throughout the years. Just the way everything is perfectly busy makes all the difference from 2021. And I'm really proud of this. This is really, really well done. That being said, job's not over. No. You thought this was done? Wait till you see what I have in... I've marked where a few buildings can go. I have a few ideas that I want to try out, and this is mainly just to extend the town feel, because it only feels like a town from one angle, and then you look over here and it's ugh. I don't want to go too overboard. I do have a few roads already laid out just to give me a general idea, but I want to make this a restaurant sort of place, kind of mirroring the way this is jutted out on this side. And so this, on this side, it's extended for this building. Got two buildings here. I have no idea what I want to do for some of these. I do want to make a tower of some sort, maybe. Got another diagonal here. I have no idea what this is gonna look like. Then finally, we have a gatehouse structure. I want to like actually have a path going through here, which is why I marked it like this. And the other main thing I want to work on is, I think it's better if we view it from the bridge. So yeah, the side profile of the town is looking a little rough, especially from here. So I want to work on making this like a proper sort of port or like storage crate area, like a shipyard almost sort of, and have little docks extending outward into the water. This, I thought of making more houses, but I kind of like that there is like a green space here. So we might convert this into a nice little, green space, like a little park or something. And then maybe just extend the beach outward here. I think that works a little better. I think that works a little better than if I should just extend a full-on harbor on this side. I don't think I'll work on making houses here. I don't even know if I want houses here. I kind of do, because this is the view, like this is the entrance of the town. So you're coming in from here, and you'd want some sort of focal points as you enter here. But that really depends. I might just like landscape this temporarily, and then we'll work on it a different time. But with that, it's time to throw you all again into another build montage. I know it's a very buildy episode that we have here, but that's kind of expected. I did name this probably something like, I don't know, rebuilding a town that no longer exists. Shout out Wiffies. What's next? A king in yellow? Anyways, it's time for you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the rebuilding of Trinidad Town. Now is a perfect time to explain to you all why this first? Why Trinidad Town? Why was this one our first quote-unquote museum build? As interesting and as meaningful as rebuilding something that no longer exists sounds, I can say the same for a lot of the planned builds. Granted, for some of these, it quite literally is just from memory, and you're just gonna have to trust me that this was a thing I did when I was a kid. Trinidad Town actually belongs in the rarer category of builds that have photographic evidence. That means I can at least see it, which makes it even less special. I could have built my first house, I could have built my first base, but I wanted to do this one first because it's dedicated to a dear friend. I won't name them for privacy and anonymity, but they were actually one of the biggest factors as to why I started making videos. I don't think I would love Minecraft and making Minecraft videos as much as I do if it weren't for this friend. We did a lot together in Minecraft. I think when we first started playing together, it was 1.16, and we were still figuring out like the best ways to mine netherite. At that time, we were both returning players. Like, we hadn't played that much since we were kids. And I can vividly remember that the moment we started playing together, we were genuinely inseparable. We're both fans of Hermitcraft, and we share that same motivation to build projects on their level, like make proper mega builds. And you know, successful mega projects were few and far in between, but through every 2-week phase, every attempt at making it big in our own version of Hermitcraft, every little world I poured so much time and dedication in, they were there. They poured themselves just as much as I did. There are multiple museum builds lined up where they were actually once part of. They mean the world to me. Well, multiple worlds to me. And Trinidad Town was one of them. Although pretty ironic, actually. The reason this world never truly kicked off was because halfway through that playthrough, they couldn't connect properly to the server. To this day, I genuinely don't know what barred them from joining, but we ended up abandoning that world because it was boring when they weren't there. But here we are, rebuilding the town they never really got to see. A town that can finally live forever. And as somber as I sound, I want to clarify, they're not dead, by the way. They're alive and well, and this video was a long time surprise that I had planned for them. So, because I know you're watching this, welcome to the newly renamed Porto, Trinidad. Now it's time I give you all a proper tour of this town. After I go to sleep, hold on, wait. I'm not risking another drown attack. Alright, tour time. I've already shown you guys the 3 buildings over here, so let's direct our attention to these new buildings. Over here, I had a restaurant. A sort of personal rule started to form as I was building. I couldn't use too similar of color or block type in the build adjacent to it. Because I wanted to make this originally out of brick, but then I decided against that because there was already another brick house across it. And I really want this town to feel very colorful. Very, very colorful. But yeah, we have a restaurant here. We have a what's it called? A server's table? That's embarrassing of me. We have a nice little deck here with tables and chairs, and there's no stairs yet, so I'm just gonna do this. Up here, we have a balcony with a little umbrella. I think this is like a very VIP spot. It's a good date spot as well. I mean, look at that. You're looking out at, well, soon something better, but yeah, it's a nice date spot. I'm going chronologically as to when I built these, so this one is next. You're gonna notice I really like a light to dark gradient on my builds. Yeah, cute little house with a roof that did not oxidize in time, I think. Yep, still going. Right across it is probably my favorite building from the ones I've made so far. I know I wanted a really colorful building, like a proper standout colorful building, and I think this works really well. I've been waiting for an opportunity to use glazed terracotta in a build, and this worked out completely well. This was unintentional because I forgot what brown glazed terracotta looked like, but it has hints of blue in it, which is also the color of the top floor. Genius! This is also meant to be like a library. So we have a nice little walk-up platform up here, and this is like a book deposit where you can deposit books in this hole. Moving to the building right next to it is this nice little dark gray... That's not gray. Is this nice little dark brown house with a little ladder up there. It's oxidizing nicely, although I kind of like it in the exposed stage. We'll get to that later. But yeah, simple diagonal house. And if we work our way past the chest monster, don't worry about that, we go to this gatehouse-ish structure over here. This gatehouse is meant to like be the proper entrance for this port area, which as you can see is full of supplies and goods coming from whatever boats and trade routes, and I know my economics. But yeah, this is meant to be a bunch of shipping supplies and a bunch of trade goods. Down here we have the actual docks. You may have seen me rework this from during the build montage. I didn't really like the first one, and I wanted to give it a bit more. Just something a bit more, you know? You feel me? Coming through the gates over here, we have some nice custom trees. I actually don't know how I feel about these, but we have some nice custom trees. Not very good at trees, but I think this works out well. But moving on from that, we have a nice little bench and table and a cool little shoreline over here. This connects to the terraforming we did earlier. That's pretty cool. Lastly, I want to show my favorite little detail in this entire build. Oh yeah, this is a motorcycle. The context of this world got really lost along the way. Like, it was supposed to be Mediterranean, and I don't really think this is Mediterranean. It's kind of just, it's very town. It does have town vibes, but like it's miscellaneous. A miscellaneous town from wherever in the world, in the real world at least. So you have motorcycles right next to medieval carts, but you know, that's kind of the beauty of Minecraft. But as I was saying, this is my favorite detail of the entire build. I wanted it's like a painter was painting a mural up here, and they've done well up there, but a bunch of the paint has spilled down here with a bunch of his supplies and his brush. Again, let me go to sleep. I am not risking a single drowned. Seriously, when I was building, there were so many drowned. Some of them had tridents that had loyalty. What are you loyal for? Why did I open my configs? So that's something I have to adjust about this riverbed. I want to make it safe because we're actually terraforming this. So I really don't want a drown to go hit me while I'm underwater building and all that. This town is nowhere near done. Like, nowhere near done. I already have a few buildings marked out where I have a few ideas I want to try. And we have space. Like, this is, if you zoom out here, this is actually quite tiny compared to the rest of the land that we have available here. I might not use all of this. I kind of want to keep some part of this forest, you know? But yeah, we have so much opportunity to expand and grow this town. Might not even be a town by then. Might be a city. My world has lore. My world has world building. But there's two things we need to talk about first. Yeah, you and me. Number one, I can get really lost just building this, like especially the detail work. As I said about the dock, and that's probably the biggest thing I did off camera, but I did a lot of like minor redecorating off camera, just adjusting a few things that didn't quite fit or sit right with me the first time. I don't record those parts, not because they're boring or anything like that, but because they're just like, they're very silent. Like I am in my own lane while doing that. And as of filming this right now, it's been like probably a month since my last episode, which I apologize for. And I've had to think about this. Like, I want to provide you guys content, especially of me just doing a bunch of the off-camera detail work and that stuff. So I thought, why not stream it? I'm gonna have to work on my setup, but I can definitely stream this on Twitch, where I have my channel. Yeah. So yeah, I'll probably announce a proper stream schedule, or at least when I will do it. But I hope you're all just as excited as me. And the second thing that I wanted to address was that there was a lighthouse here. But because of how long this video took, I decided to not do it this episode, and instead, we're probably gonna do it next episode actually. It is a pretty important and significant part of the town and the whole backstory behind it, so I think we should dedicate an entire video to it. Should I put shaders on? I wonder if that's a good idea. This is probably not a good idea. Oh, my PC! It's loaded. I think I'm fine. Keyword think. Oh, this is good. That sun is really bright. Oh my goodness. I think the best way to end this episode is to go back on our bridge here, back to the sort of viewpoint. And if we adjust our FOV here, oh yeah. This is definitely worth a picture. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you like what you see, and welcome to Porto, Trinidad.